If you're a multi-hyphenate who thinks that doing multiple things will make people take you less seriously, let's study Keke Palmer, shall we? Hey, it's Jazz, the multi-hyphenate. On this channel, I love to talk about all things faith, film, fitness, and all that jazz. Today's another installment in my series that uplifts and educates multi-hyphenate women. I'm a former professional athlete, basketball and dance, a screenwriter, a novelist, a content creator, a new business coach, and so much more. Basically, I'm the friend that people are constantly asking, how do you stay so disciplined? How do you go from idea to execution? Dang, you do that too? The answer is yes. I do. And I'm using this series to spill all my secrets on productivity and discipline. This series is for the girlies with no niche, too many talents, and no desire to only choose one. So, welcome to Renaissance Women University. You might want to take notes. So today's video is a case study on the one, the only Miss Keke Get a Bag Palmer. I want to talk about the real reason why Keke can do so many different things and her career still makes sense. Let's get into it. Honestly, I think Keke is probably one of the best modern day Renaissance women examples that exist in this generation. She's an actress, a singer, a performer, a host, a producer, a businesswoman, and overall just an entertainment and internet personality. But somehow, none of those things feel random. They just feel like Keke. So that's what we're gonna study today. How to have multiple lanes and never lose your identity. The reason a lot of people with multiple lanes kind of feel scattered and chaotic is probably because they haven't identified a singular thread that connects all of the things that they're passionate about. Talk about this all the time. Oh wait, before we go any further, I do want to mention that I have a short form version of my Renaissance Women University series that I post on TikTok and Instagram. Follow those pages for more bite-sized information, and if you want to stay connected on all the other types of content that I do as well. Back to what I was saying, I continuously harp on finding a singular thread that links all of your talents together. In previous videos, I talked about identifying your primary lane, your secondary lane, and your dormant lane. And if you want to know more about that, you can go back and watch the other videos. But for today, let's see how they specifically apply in Keke Palmer's career. So, Keke's primary lane is acting and entertainment. That's pretty clear. That's how she became visible to the industry. That's how she introduced herself. That was her point of visibility. This is especially important because, like I always stress, a lot of Renaissance women, a lot of people with multiple talents like to sometimes try to introduce all of their talents at once, and then you start to confuse your audience. Maybe this does work sometimes, but most of the time, the most strategic way is to use one talent, one passion to open the door first, and then keep that door open so the rest of your talents can flood in. Keke optimized her acting lane and she built credibility there. She stayed visible there. I mean, the girl was Akilah and the Bee, 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? Because that foundation was so strong, the rest of her talents just felt natural when she started to expand. So now when she does hosting, when she sings, when she dances, when she's an internet personality, this doesn't feel scattered because all of her lanes point back to the same identity. I believe she's a communicator and an entertainer, and that's her through line, even if her formats change, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So a lot of us don't have too many talents or too many passions. We just treat each passion and each talent like a separate identity. So you feel like you're one person over here, another person over there, and you switch talents. In actuality, you should be building an ecosystem that connects all of them together. So let's make this practical and figure out how you can find your overall identity when you have multiple lanes. I'd ask myself what naturally continues to show up over and over again despite what I do. So instead of thinking I'm a writer, but I also like content, but I also kind of enjoy public speaking, and those are three different things, so I feel kind of all over the place. Maybe strip it down to be like, all of those things include teaching. All of those things include storytelling, and so on. The theme that is reoccurring definitely matters. Are you the builder? When people have ideas, do they come to you and ask you like, hey, can you help me flesh out this idea? Are you a visionary? Do you like to come up with big, broad ideas, have other people do the nitty gritty details of breaking it down? Are you the executor? Do people come to you with their plans and they're like, I have this big idea, I don't know how to execute it? And you're like, bet. First step, this. Second step, this. Think about who you are in a friend group. I think that's a good way to think about it too. The next thing I would say is to separate format from identity. And I think this is a big one. In Keke's case, hosting is a format. Acting is a format. Performing is a format. But through all of those things, her identity remains communicator, entertainer. You know what I'm saying? You're not your platform. The thing that you're doing is just a vehicle to carry out what really is at the root. So for example, if you have a YouTube channel and you like teaching and telling stories on YouTube, sure, you're a YouTuber, but being a YouTuber is an avenue that you use to do the root thing. The root thing is teaching. The root thing is storytelling. You are not your platform. You are not your current job title. You are not even whatever current season that you're in. If you are someone who is a believer in Christ, if you're a Christian, I think another good way to think about this is, what are your spiritual gifts? I know one of my main spiritual gifts is teaching. So ultimately, when I sat back and was like, man, I do all these things, the through line between all of these different things is teaching. I can teach through writing. I can teach through public speaking. I can teach through content, and so on. So if you are feeling scattered and you feel like you have to stop everything you're doing and just pick one thing, maybe start asking, what is the root identity that connects all of my lanes? And since this is Renaissance Women University, there's going to be some homework. I think a good homework assignment is to make a list of all your different formats. So for example, Keke's format is hosting, it's music, it's acting, etc. Then I would make a separate list of all of my reoccurring themes. Keke's recurring thing is communicating, entertaining, and so on. Then I would go even way back to grade school times, maybe even make a Venn diagram and circle and see where these different things overlap. And it'll feel a lot less confusing when you realize, oh, I'm not a bunch of random different people, or I don't do a bunch of random different things. At my core, I have maybe one or two recurring themes, and I just probably have varying formats to carry out these things. You're one person expressing yourself through multiple lanes. You don't have to niche down. You don't have to only do one thing. Keke Palmer is the perfect example of what it looks like to build a successful career, might I add, on doing multiple things. And her audience loves her for everything she does, because her personality, her passion is at the core of everything that she does. And ultimately, that is what makes a Renaissance woman. Someone who can do everything, someone who has multiple talents, and someone who has strategy behind them. And honestly, just like Keke, I think the same thing is possible for you and me. You just have to identify those lanes and feel confident about them. Multiple lanes, one identity. And that, my girl, is how Renaissance women kill it, build successful careers, and do not feel scattered while doing it. That's all I have for today's office hours, our case study on our beautiful, brilliant Keke Get the Bag Palmer. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with in the comments when you go back and do your homework. Let me know if there are any other topics that you guys want to cover in Renaissance Women University. Catch you in the next video. Bye. Oh, did you take those notes?